Hello,
Sure,
hello,
yeah.
hello, and welcome to the drawing time. That's right. Get ready, gamers, for your soon-to-be regular Thursday night dry. Joining us here are our friends from across time and space. Boltrip, welcome back to the channel, and Milady Saito and Dark Aardvark as well from over on the Milady Saito, everyone's favorite source for Saito gaming. Now then. Okay. Hello, and welcome to the drawing time. We find ourselves with a number of figures around a dying campfire, the last of their food and water digesting in their bodies as they crave more. And as they crave, they dream. They dream of a time when they will be free of this collapsing world and have reached another place. But which place will they seek, should they even survive the coming day's search for water? Their minds turn from their dearly departed Ushanar, destroyed in calamity, to one of four possibilities. Distant Hekmo, an island rich in copper, wool, and culture. It is said that their palaces are works of art, and extensive provision is made for every kind of expert to live well at the largesse of their ruling clades. So generous is the grain dole that many partake of exotic skills rather than tend their gardens and fields year-round. Their shipbuilding may surpass even the Kapesh. Their sources conflict, and they were always pushing mechanisms to greater heights. And then, of course, there is the mighty Kep. Great pyramids along the mighty river Kep as the Kapesh till their flooding fields. They enact heavy taxes and have unfathomable wealth in grain and textiles. Their navy is legendary, their army vast, and their fees steep. With the river's banks are incredibly plentiful, the priests command an extensive cut of the wealth, and the royals do not share more than necessary with the people, preoccupied as they are with the various institutions to tax foreigners and their own people. It is difficult for outsiders to establish themselves to live well in this land, but those foreign merchants who make it their home can do very well. And then, yet further, in parts unknown, is Kubu Sharak, bridge to all piers. This land bridges many further ports, and it is the only place known from which flows tin that is not our own beside the far distant north. It is said their feats of engineering are vast and limitless, great cranes lifting and stowing rows of ships. They have 2 rings of walls and endless splendor, perched between desert and sea. It is a place of great learning. It is known that magi study here freely and make a great point of educating all heavy souls, even those who have taken up for thaumaturgy. This is dismissed as heretical rumor by our priesthood. And then lastly, as we dream of other places, we dream too of our lost home. And a dream it might not be so lost, for indeed, just as Elder Shao, our capital, is swallowed by flames and riven away by waters, do we dream of a new Shao? Shall we found the Elder Shao, our great capital lost now to us in some foreign land? We would require great supply and support to achieve such a feat, not to mention suitable lands. To take all the Ushinari we can direct to this site of a new founding and holds no promise of success. As the party sits around the fire, they see their companions, who they have brought with them. Besides, Bola is a tall and proud farmer, Bolade. He has a axe to hand and stout hide garment. And behind Saita is Iboji, the thief. Quick to clamber and steal, but doesn't have that much blood inside her slender frame. Daraka has arrived with no companions, but it is her swiftness in the clearing of the way and the pushing of the soon-to-be-destroyed carts and the finding of the paths that led you to escape together so swiftly. You will have arrived 2 days earlier than you otherwise would have. As you sit around the campfire, you reflect where you have gone and where you are going. So, does anybody have any strong feelings? It's worth noting that this isn't like a permanent choice made right now. These are just places you can shoot for, and ultimately you can choose to settle down wherever you want to as a party. But yeah.
I can't remember what two of us decided earlier. Can't remember which one. I thought listening to them would spark a memory, but alas, it did not.
You wanted Heckmo last time because you like
Heckmo.
metal. You like to play with metal, and they have good metal.
Yeah.
That's still the place.
All right. Saita, do you have any particular... Also, you can name your character. I gave everyone bullshit quick names based off of their
So the
handles.
problem is, I like what you gave me.
Then take it.
So yeah, I'm taking it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
But yeah, so
I'm not gonna do
Saita.
any better.
Saita, do you have any strong feelings?
Oh, no, I don't have any strong feelings. I'm okay with going. I mean, more metal's fine. I can use it.
That's right. So, the most pressing problem, of course, is the dreams of tomorrow fade away, is how you will survive the coming day. You go to sleep hungry and thirsty, and awaken in an unfamiliar desert. You are traveling along the trade lanes towards Tamaka. It is the most commonly known point of trade in your world, in your realm of Ushanar. You know that this distant place is where many go to exchange, shall we say, goods and services, with all other possibilities of travel denied you. You and the other survivors had little choice. However, on the morrow, as you trudge into the sands, you quickly come upon something strange. Something poised to change the trajectory of your travels and travails. You find a hole. You see what is clearly, in the eyes of Bula and Saita, very dried blood on the desert sands. And there's a stone arrow there besides. And then there's a curious bulking of sand that drifts down and appears to almost splash to something below.
I'm gonna want to like take the arrow. Like first, does anybody use arrows?
I would note, Bolade is an archer, or has a knotwood bow,
Gotcha.
and I believe some shit ass arrow. Yeah, yeah, uses bone arrows. So technically speaking, I think you've just found a. I think bone and stone are actually the same quality.
Yeah. Well, like, how far is it down there? Can I like see the bottom really, or?
What's your sense?
Good question. Let me see.
And you want to get up like to the edge?
My senses too, and yeah.
You can dimly see what appears to be water, actually. It seems like the light is playing off of water and there is some stone on the southern end of this drop, but you can't really see that clearly.
Okay. I was mostly gonna want to see if like it was stupid drop or not. But
I guess I will also peer down there.
Alright, what's your sense?
3.
Yeah, I mean, you get like a slightly better idea of what's down there. I will give you a little peeksy poo.
How difficult does it look like? Does it look like it'd be super difficult to get out?
You don't see an obvious way out. This is what you see. Brackish water, a very well-cut stone rim of some sort, human, like historical human bodies, and then what appears to be a floating Ushinari corpse
Well, Daraka, what do you see?
There is water down there, but there's also a corpse floating in it, so I don't know how healthy it would be to drink.
Well, I think we're just like 80% water. I think I heard that somewhere.
Sure. But would you drink water direct from a person? If you put a
Ah,
tap in me and release the water that's inside?
is that a possibility?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Saita, do you peer over the edge?
I want to glance over, yeah.
I think that you, unless I'm crazy, are also sense 3.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the same look Daraka gets. And both of you judge that the drop would take 2 stamina to absorb the shock of.
Well,
Lucky as well.
And I would point out again, so you guys have access to the character sheets from that little links from Lee. The bottom one's Companions of Fate, and I would just point out Iboji does have 6 squares of rope, and you think that would about cover the descent if you were to affix it to something.
well, the question is, who wants to be the sweetheart that goes down there and maybe investigates further first?
As that pregnant question hangs in the air, you hear a moan coming from below, and a rasp. They seem
Good
to.
news! He might be alive. Or they might be alive. I'm not sure. What's your name?
So the L-tail corpse does not respond and looks very dead. However, you hear like a weird like, and it sounds like perhaps the mouth is too dry or damaged, or the person too delirious to make a direct response.
Okay, bad news. I thought it might have been the dead one, but the dead one is definitely dead. But the
Well,
good news is we see very well. We didn't see it wrong.
who's the slender one again?
That one's
Slender one.
I'm asking
Emoji?
out of character. Can I hear the answer though, please?
Well, I don't.
I mean-
I am slender.
Saida and Aboji,
Okay.
and is Abula also?
I was running to go actually
No.
check the character sheets when you asked. I was like, I think that's
Emoji's
the only one.
slender.
You are?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Aboji is, yeah, but not Bula. Yeah. So basically, these 2 ladies over here are slender.
Do either of you know medicine? Because maybe I lower you down there. I don't. There's nothing to tie off to, right?
There is
We're in a desert.
there is sand.
Okay.
Sand. I have an arrow, but
I would give you. Do you want to like look
Oh.
around for a place to like tie it off like a rock or something?
Yes.
All right, give me a D6 trying to hit at or under your sense.
Poop. I did
Okay.
not. I doubled it.
Daraka finds nothing in particular that would assist with that, but you could just hold it.
That's what I was getting at.
All right, you
Drop
think?
one of the light ones down there. One of the
You think
ones.
that dropping a slender person is not going to cost you any stamina?
And if one of you has medicine, you could maybe see to the person down there.
I know medicine, but I'm not.
Well, what if 2 people hold the rope and we lower
Yeah.
the one that knows
Sure,
medicine
one of-
down?
One of you could help me. I
Bolade is
suppose.
also swole, so the 2 of them could lower Bola
Oh.
at no stamina cost. Iboji is curious about investigating the down below. She says there could be something valuable down there. It looks like a very well worked stone. What have we wandered upon? There's nothing around for miles.
Oh.
Probably something swallowed by the sands.
Bolade says, someone shot that arrow and spilled this blood and killed that L-tail.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Perhaps the one down there with the water, or they ran down there for safety. But there is nothing but open desert for miles, so...
So, Draka, do you lower the rope?
It depends on if they're... If I was given the rope and they're going along with the plan.
Yep. I
I'm
mean,
going along
Iboji
with
would
it.
just hand you the rope.
Yep.
Alright, so you go along with the plan?
Yeah.
Okay. Three of the 5 party members are shortly dropped down. You notice a few things immediately. There is a strange bloom to this part of what appears to be, I would say, with an alchemia of 1, Saito, you recognize this as a cistern, a structure designed to catch water, rainwater in particular. This side of the water is, you can both tell, definitely fouled, whereas this side of the water seems to be cut off from the rest and doesn't seem fouled. You see an Ushinari man with his leg crumpled a bit to the north with some more fresh blood. He is calling out for assistance. Iboji kind of like, creeps in the corner, thief-like. You note that there is a stained, but otherwise valuable, a dire sash on the corpse.
Oh, I nudged to Boji, be like, "How are we getting that?"
And she
That
says,
seems
well, we could
important.
use the rope to bring in the body, but shouldn't we worry about the living one for right now?
Well, I thought someone else had that taken care of.
Bula,
Well-
do you head up and investigate the person?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
See, I told you. Made me feel bad for a minute there. I thought we were on the same page. Don't worry, I got the sash.
Mm-hmm.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, so Duraka, do you lower down the rope for this operation, or?
I thought it was already lowered there.
Okay, so the rope is
Like,
lowered.
get off the rope.
They're talking about using it as a lasso
Oh.
to gather a corpse to rob it of its clothing.
Do you think you'll be able to get back up here without the rope?
I'm hoping I could. Does it look like I could throw it back up?
It looks like you could throw it back up, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm hoping I could throw it back up to you when we need to. But
Okay. Then she'll toss it down.
All right. Bloop.
Okay.
Now she's
Boji.
starting to think about what she's gonna have to do if she has to survive on her own.
Emoji, get over here. We're gonna be playing some. We're gonna be playing some carcass fishing.
All right, so so while they carcass fish, Bula, you proceed to the leg wounded, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Bula, you get to about here, right? And the leg wounded guy looks like he's clearly been wounded in a fight, right?
Right.
He kind of raises his mouth toward, his hand, mouths something at you, sort of sucks in. And you notice a man with a sling to the southwest on a 1-meter raised platform. He seems to be skulking about, peering through the darkness, trying to detect something. You are presently in the cover of both some walls and these pillars, so you don't think he's seen you yet. Meanwhile,
I get-
you see your friends have roped in and brought up a corpse. Everything besides the stained dire sash appears destroyed or rotted. However, you do now have a dire sash. A dire is a unique. It would be worth the 18. It's a stained indigo dire sash. If it wasn't stained, it would be worth 18 value, which is pretty good. 1 value roughly equates to a day's food. But of course, it is stained and has been pulled off a corpse, so this might make a hard sell at market.
It
But-
just adds flavor, hopefully.
But Bula, you hear them like loudly sloshing a corpse out of the water and like peeling cloth off of it. This guy with the sling is looking around. What do you do?
Can they? Can that person with the sling see Saita?
No. So
No.
you're just seeing it because like if you hit yourself and Control L, you'll see your own line of sight. And you will see that you can only see this person due to a very narrow ray of light. You see what I mean? There is this central
Yeah, I just had to
console, so to
refresh.
speak, which is blocking Saita or Iboji from being spotted right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
It possibly also blocked sound propagation, but it occurred to you that you've all been fairly loudly speaking over and up from and or down and around through the hole.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna start like. I'm gonna wave over at Saita, and like with one hand, and then like hold a single finger to my mouth, like a kind of motion.
First, I see the waving, and I'm like, yeah, we did get it. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I face palm immediately,
Upon
and then
saying the signal, Iboji like crouches and hides in a corner.
yeah. And I kind of like, once I have your attention, you're quiet. I kind of point in the general direction so that the other two can have an idea of where I saw somebody.
Yeah.
Which is like southwest.
Daraka, you're witnessing all of this go down below you. You can tell like the mood has shifted. Do you do anything? Bolade looks at you expectantly, expecting you to take the lead.
The vibe has shifted, but I didn't see the shush be quiet.
Yeah, you just know that like Saito was loudly replying, and then she got quiet, and Iboji went into like crouch stealth mode and creeped out of vision.
I'm going to turn around and look at him and say, shh, quiet. And try to listen for shenanigans.
All right. So, Bula and Saita, you're down below. What are you doing?
I'm gonna look at Bula and like kind of gesture, like as if to say like here, there, where. What's
So I'm gonna put up one finger,
One
and then I'm gonna point in the direction that I saw the person, which is like to the southwest of where I'm standing. Yeah. They changed Roll20, so things are weird.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like kind of like this direction. So I see somebody in that way. You can see me. And then I'm gonna like start pointing a lot at the rope at your feet, or at the. I guess is it still on the corpse?
Yeah, it's like partially
Yeah.
around the corpse.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be pointing at the corpse like rapidly, and then gesture up like several times.
She gives you a thumbs up as if she understood, which she totally did.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go over to the person with the leg wound and just kind of like hold my finger over my mouth to like shush.
Yeah, they
be
kind of
quiet.
like they finally managed to work up the words of water, but they're being quieter now. Whether that's because they should or because they must is not yet clear to you. But
Okay.
you can see that they have a significant leg wound. They cannot get up or move without spending a point of stamina. They have no stamina, and they probably can't regenerate it because they've clearly been starving for a while.
Yeah.
They look like for the moment they're stable, and under your tender cares, assuming you can get them any sustenance, you should be able to heal the wound like tonight. But of course, you don't have any food or clean water yourself, so we'll see how that day goes. And yeah, so that is sort of the Bula situation. What do you want to do?
So they're already kind of stable, so I don't really have to.
Yeah, although I would say give me a medicine sense. Okay, so here's how skill runs in this game work, right? You
Yeah.
get 2d10. You're trying to hit at or under the stat plus the skill that I'm calling for. If it's something that you could physically exert yourself to do, you can spend one stamina to gain 1d10. If it's something you could mentally like lock in to do, it's something that you could gain 1 heat to gain 1d10. I would say this examination is going to be one you could mentally apply for if you want to add a die. But it's going to be a run, and you're doing a medicine sense to, like, in this dark place, quickly diagnostic and be sure they're not, already dead or something.
Gotcha. So it's going to be a 2d10 plus medicine sense.
No, not plus. You're trying to hit
Sorry.
at or under.
Oh, at or under.
With all of the dice independently, yes.
Okay.
Rolling for success, baby. Welcome back to Adabrain. Leon
Okay.
made this game.
So just roll 2d10.
Unless you want to gain 1 heat to have a third. Is Bula locked in?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
All right. So, what is
Okay.
your sense stat? It's
So sense is 2 and medicine is 2, so I did get 1 under.
you got 1 success. Okay.
Nice.
You quickly determine that the man's left leg has a festering wound, and if it is not quickly addressed, it's going to go from your leg's kind of fucked up to we're going to have to amputate, which in this world usually just means, hey, Lamau, you're fucking dead. Now,
Yeah.
as a blood thaumaturge, you can help people survive surgery, but, I mean, the less mobile this person is in the future, the less likely they are to live anyway, assuming you're prepared to take him. So you think that you need to clean his leg, ideally with clean water, like immediately, and possibly any other herb or thing that can be found. So, in addition, you would note this area to the left. There's a lot of tight rock that you, as a slender, you're not a slender person.
I'm not slender.
You would have to spend
I'm
1
middle.
stamina to slide through, but a slender person could just slide through.
Okay.
And you also know there's a tight squeeze kind of crack in the wall here that also seems to be a squeeze scenario.
Okay. So I'm gonna like kneel down to the dude and just like quickly tell him like, hey, stay. Well, you can't move. Stay here. We'll look for some water, okay?
And
I'll see what I can do about
he
your
says,
leg.
"Be careful. I heard them come down."
Right. Who? What?
And he says, "Don't know. Dirty." And kind of like, chokes up a little bile and doesn't seem to be, it seems like he needs some water before he can keep conversing.
All right. Stop using your mouth before you die. I'll be back. Sit tight. Okay?
All right. Meanwhile, Saita, what have you done? Have you done anything with the rope?
I'm taking the rope off the corpse, but I also want to check the corpse in like how much would it bleed if I cut it in its artery? Like how dead is this thing?
So this corpse appears to have bled dry yesterday.
Ooh, so it is.
It's been in that brackish water probably about a day. There's already signs of liquidy decomposition, and it seems like their body has contributed to the bacteria in that area. You don't know the word bacteria, but you know that like the corpse has been mutually befouling the pool, and based on the bones, probably not the first thing to die in here. You know what I mean? So like the body is bad, and even if like the blood inside the body would be bad if there was any blood inside the body.
Oof. Feels bad.
Yeah, you see also
I look
the sign of you see the sign of multiple concussions. It looks like a crack to the skull did them in. It's consistent with damage from a sling.
So, you would say he's a decapitated, or he's a decomposing long enough that I could probably break his arm off or his hand off pretty easily from the wrist, right?
What the fuck are you
Do you
doing?
have an appropriate weapon to do that with?
I have a corner of a thing that I could just curb stomp the wrist into
Yeah, I
the.
mean, give me a resolve medicine to see if you just manage to
Jesus
cleanly stomp
fucking
it.
Christ.
There will be sound, but it'll be a wet sound.
It's gonna make people go, what?
All right. Resolve medicine. This is both mental and physical, so you could choose to either spend 1 stamina or gain 1 heat, or do both. Each of them nets you an additional D10.
Um.
And it's the same shit Boltrip was doing. Each D10 is independently trying to hit at or under your governing stat and governing skill. So because it's a medicine, which is 1 for you, and a resolve, which is 4 for you, 5 or under. So you have a 50-50 shot on every dice you roll, giving a success. You only need 1 to get the handoff clean.
I'm still rolling 2d10s, right? Without.
Unless you want to spend 1 stamina
Nah.
or gain 1 heat. So you do